All right, this is us. I thought I would have Dee, now that Dee's situated in running her business. I wanted to get Dee's perspective. You know, you were under my umbrella. You've decided to go on your own. You have all the expertise, the tools to assist clients now. Yeah. How are you feeling about it?
I'm excited, actually. I'm really excited. You know, when I first joined your team, you know, like you said, I was under your umbrella, but I needed that 2 years of
experience.
Yeah, right? So just to build my own self-confidence, even though I knew I could do it, but you always second guess yourself, right? And when you're put in a position where, wow, you're responsible for somebody else's business, there is no time for error. And you know, you start to read a lot and, you know, just to know the answers because, you know, you hired me to help you and I didn't want to take up your time. I wanted to free up your time and it was a good thing.
It was. Yeah. You learned a lot. You learned a lot, right? So when you're processing so many deals, it's different, right? You end up in a war zone and you start to learn, right?
Oh, 100%. You're forced to. There's no other choice. It's like you're thrown into a pack of wolves and you have to defend yourself, right?
It's so true.
But it was great. It was at times, you know, I was like, oh my God, how can I do this? But when you're there, you just do it. You find ways to get things done, right?
100%.
So you just find the resources, you call the lenders, you call the BDMs, you just study. And you know what? It was the greatest blessing that I had. And, you know,
you were nervous though when we talked about you going on your own and separating. Like I felt like we went through a separation.
Oh yeah, because you were like my mama bear.
I know.
Like, oh my
I still am. No, but I still am. But I honestly, I'm proud of you because we're 2 months in and you're killing it. You're doing great, right? And you're answering the questions on our chat, and you know you're taking leadership. When you first started, you were afraid, right? You were essentially
100%.
Afraid to confront people. But honestly, you evolved. Like you did really, really well, right? And what a perfect year to go on your own with the announcement on the rates.
Yeah.
You know, what's happening in the media right now. We talked about it on Monday. Rates going down. Like what is actually indicating for these rates to go down? Like, is it fear-based, right? Like we had this big drop, and I had a whole bunch of clients call me saying, oh, my rates have gone down. No, prime rate has gone down, right?
That's a big
We're
thing.
still waiting to see those, you know, the 5-year fix. Of course, yes, that's to come. The bond market is down, you know, so we're going to see it. It's going to happen, right? We're seeing it. We're seeing these announcements come out with, you know, all the lenders. But what a great time, right? For yourself, right? You're watching these rates. I think we talked about this. Like, are rates even going to go down below 299? I didn't even think I would see that. And
I never thought I'd see it.
Yeah. And yet yesterday I handed out a commitment 264 on a conventional.
Oh my God,
right? We're doing conventional, insured, insurable.
Yeah.
And we will cover that. But imagine like where we are today, right? Like, did we even think we were going to get back into this market? We just had a podcast, you know, it's a seller's market.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know, like we're inundated with offers on one listing.
Yeah.
Like when did we come back to that?
No, I know. And it's constant where you're getting, you know, realtors saying, you know, can we come in with no conditions?
Yeah.
So we're getting back to that
Are
era
we back to that?
of where, there's no time and they're selling, you know, 40 to 50 to 60,000 over the asking price.
This is crazy.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is like deja vu.
It is deja vu. We were saying this 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
So Dee, if you want to sell your property,
I know,
do
this
it
is
now.
the time. I know.
But it's crazy. So then we have the changes on the stress test, right?
Yeah.
5.19 was qualifying rate. We're now seeing contract rates. So let's imagine contract rate is 264 plus 2%. We're looking at 4.64 on qualifying.
Yeah.
Like, well, what now we have to go back to all our pre-approvals and, put out the message to people out there that, weren't meeting the threshold, come back and reevaluate.
Yeah.
Right. Or go back to your broker or your mortgage agent. Some people, I can't even believe people still go to the bank to get their pre-approvals.
Yeah.
We have a list of a slew of, lenders that we can qualify you on. Right. But people still walk into the bank to get that approval.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. But, I had done a diagram where to show people, if with the new stress test, how much the difference it makes from 5.19 qualifying to, like you said, I had done 4.79.
Yeah, because that's what the rates are, but it's 4.640 today.
So it was like $20,000 to $25,000
we talked about
difference in the purchase price. So it does make a difference when you're looking to buy, right?
Big time.
Like 475 to 500,000. It's a different home right there. So
100%.
People are happy with that.
No, you're right. And, now that you're running the business, now you're doing your own business, the separation has happened. Everybody knows. People will call me and they're like, is Dee still with you? I'm like, yes, she's still. So it's confusing. Everybody's like, is Dee still? So Dee is now essentially a mortgage agent of mine, right? So she was, my direct assistant. And now she's a mortgage agent and she's thriving. You're doing awesome. So we're going to go back to 2020. We're going to go back to what motivates you, what keeps you positive. Because this is a tough market. And we talked about this. We talked about this on Monday. Everybody, I'm now doing the hiring for new agents. And people ask, they're like, is it a great job? Listen, in all honesty, this job is tough. It's tough. So if you're considering, becoming a mortgage agent, it's not as easy as you think.
No.
I was doing an interview and we talked about this in our group chat. I asked the client, what was your experience, or the mortgage agent that was applying? What was your experience? And he said he applied for a mortgage, right? 2 months ago and got a mortgage and thought it was an easy process. But if you ask any new agent that starts, and what it's like, Dee, and you do your first deal, what essentially happens? That is probably the worst deal you do.
You don't know what to do. You're so excited because you got the deal, but then you're looking at it and say, what do I do with it?
It's usually not the best deal, right?
No, no, they're not. Actually, my first deal was a B deal, and it was a nightmare.
Is it ever?
And then once you get that, the couple that's just salaried, perfect credit, and it's an A, it's like,
seems too good to be true.
Yeah, you're like, oh my God, this is amazing, right? So easy. But this job certainly is a roller coaster. It's full of emotions. You have to 100% be able to build inside eternally, like inside strength.
Yeah.
And, it's not something that develops, in a month or two. This is me like over 2 years in the making of, just not worrying. And I still worry, right? But I've learned that I have to meditate, I got to pray. And, I read these books, coming into here, you always push to read books. And, reading the right books for me is all about that motivation, but it helps me significantly, right? Because it lets me stop and think and say, okay, no matter what, everything will still be okay.
100%.
Right?
Everything
and
always
really
works out.
And it does. It always ends up working out in some crazy way. Because, there's times where I've called you in a panic and so much emotions come up because we care, right? Like we care. We want the best for our clients and they've trusted us and we just don't want anything to fall apart. And in that moment where you think, oh my God, is this how it's going to end? Oh my God, your whole life is falling.
Yeah.
It, for some strange way, it doesn't. And it's like an addiction almost, like the mortgages.
Yeah.
Like you almost have to have this high of, oh my God, you go through it and then, oh, it's done and everybody's happy. And then you go back to the beginning.
But you want to make sure that you have the support that's there. And that's something I do want to mention. Like, last week you did call, you were freaking out.
Yep.
And I was calm and you're like, hello, are you there? Hello, are you there?
Are you
and I'm
listening?
like, I know. And I'm like, Dee, I'm just listening to you, but you're fine.
Yeah.
Right? The first step is you're fine. But as a leader, you want to make sure that you're motivated. Like I'm motivated because it does take a toll on you, right?
Yeah.
If you're not motivating, if you're not keeping yourself busy, if you're not reading books to apply to, regulate your behaviors, you're going to have an issue in this job, right? Like if you're just flying, high and you're just, trying to get these deals done, it's not going to work out. And I always tell a client, when you're looking for a mortgage broker or you're interviewing them, you want to make sure that your mortgage broker or agent is a calm-natured person, right? If they come into a room and I get from people, you are so calm-natured. Like when I come in to sit down, it's so peaceful in here.
Yeah.
And that's the atmosphere. Like it's not always peaceful. People are always having 911s, right? Because that's just this business.
Yeah.
Appraisers, underwriters, lenders. It does not matter. We're always gonna go through this, wave of emotion. But it's a matter of how your mortgage agent or your mortgage broker handles the situation.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was so proud of you because you got off the phone, you delegated, and you got it done.
Yeah.
Right? In a calm manner. And then you called and you were like, oh, I was so and I'm like, that's okay. You can be ridiculous with me. Yeah. Right? As long as, we get the deal done.
As long as the client doesn't see it.
It's so true.
Yeah.
But that's my only thing. Like when, we're saturated with mortgage agents and brokers.
Yeah.
Like there's tons that apply on a daily basis. I would just say when you're interviewing, you want to make sure that A, they know how to do a B deal. And that's one thing I've always asked. Like when I'm hiring now and people have 2 years experience, I always ask, have you done a B deal? Like, have you actually processed a B deal? Because then you're going to know the wide range of lenders, right? You're not going to just jump to one lender or the other lender. You're going to know who's offering the best rate on the B level, right? But I get a lot of mortgage agents and brokers that, okay, you process A deals, but that's not a part of our job. That's not just our job description.
No.
Right? You need to know privates. You need to know the B side. You have to ensure you specialize in all of that because not everybody fits in the box. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And you see that, right?
Oh,
You've seen that. Like when you came on board, I honestly thrive on B deals. That's like my favorite. Like I specialize in it. I honestly thrive in that. So, and I'm glad as a brokerage, we all do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Just now I'm working on a private and it's like, I asked me like a few years ago, me to do a private deal. It's like, what? No. Right?
Because a lot of these brokerages are doing the hands off. They're getting one underwriter that underwrites everything, and the mortgage agent just packages and sends it to them.
Yeah.
Right? I'm all about the hands on. You really need to be hands on with your files.
Yeah.
Right? Because then you understand and you directly get the information from the underwriter.
Yeah.
And it's not like a 3-way call. Right? So that's I'm honestly, Dee, you're like the example that I use. Like I'm so proud of where you started. I remember you were so scared. And now I hear you on the phone and I'm like, that's awesome, right? Like that's an example of what this brokerage is about, right? And you hold all the values because, even yesterday with that deal, you were like, I'm not going to process it. It's just not right.
Yeah.
Right. So you're not, you're growing a business, but you're growing it right. And that's awesome.
Thanks, Carmen.
Yeah.
Appreciate
so
it.
Where do you see the market going, Dee? Let's finish off with that. Where do we see the market going? Are we going to be 2016, 2017?
Honestly, just from everything I've been reading and watching, it looks like we're trending that way.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate for people who want to buy and get into the market. But like you said, if you're hopefully with the stress test being lowered, with the rates coming down, that'll help assist, these buyers. But, if you're in the selling place, it's amazing.
It is amazing. Sell your house.
Sell your house.
No, but I would like to just add to that, if you do have a pre-approval out there, make sure you sit down with your mortgage broker or agent. You can contact us. You can contact Dee. Anybody on the team, give us a call. We can reevaluate your pre-approvals. But besides that, Dee, I want to thank you for, doing this pod. You're like, why am I doing this podcast? I thought, 2 months, you're on your own. You're doing awesome. So hit her up on our profile on the website. She has her own profile, so your contact info is there. But besides that, let's make it a good day.
Thanks.